Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Paul McMahon from Forex Smart Trade. We're here to see if we can take a trade this morning. So let us begin. I appreciate you getting up so early and being available. Before we start, always like to have a trade routine to make sure, kind of like a pilot's checklist. First thing I'd like to do is make sure that we are connected to the internet. I know we are connected to the internet by taking a look at the top left-hand corner here and seeing that this is green. Also like to see that our charts are live, that we're looking at a live chart versus looking at something historical. And to do that, I look down here on the bottom right corner of any frame of the chart, and that is green. When I look at my charts, I like to have 5 or 6 candles up here on the chart, and that gives me kind of the proper perspective to look at the other indicators. I do work off of a checklist for a trade routine. Review of yesterday's trade. We didn't trade yesterday, but our trade from last week, that was we took a sell using the 10-point signal to make the trade on the pound Australian dollar, and that closed. It closed a little bit right after we took the trade for about 11 pips. Let's see here. So the first step after I see that everything is engaged and going is let's take a look at the news and to make sure that there are no items that we don't want to trade. As we're technical traders, we are looking for our indicators pick up price action movement. So when there are things that will disrupt the price action movement, such as a news item, we don't want to trade it because we can't reliably predict how it's going to move. So we go to forexfactory.com, and that gives us a news feed of what is expected to what news items during the day might move the market. And really, we're concerned about the items in red. There's yellow folders, orange folders, and red folders. And the red folders are usually the ones that can move the market. And as I take a look, there's nothing till this afternoon at 4:45 on New Zealand. So, and then tonight on the Australian dollar. So we are good. We've got nothing that's going to limit the pair that we have access to. On the session, we're going to do. I'm going to use 2 signals to identify any prospective trades. The 2 signals I'm going to use are the ones that we use during the introductory trial for people, and that is the thick orange line signal and the 10-point signal. So let's begin with the thick orange line signal. There are really 3 elements that I'm looking for to take the trade. I am going to take this trade. The first element is I'm going to take the trade when there's less than 10 minutes left in the hour. Right now we're at 6:34 in the morning Eastern time, so there is roughly 25 minutes left in the hour. On my chart, it's showing me up in the top left corner here, it's showing me how much time is left in the hour. We're going to go take a look and see what prospective trades that we have to take at the top of the hour. So even if I see the signal now, I'm not going to take the trade now. I'm going to wait till we get to the top of the hour. Reason I'm going to do that is I want the indicators on the current candle. This is a 1 hour chart. I can see this up here. I can also see it. I can see it down here. It tells me 60 minutes. I want the indicator to have a full 50 minutes plus of feed in it to give me what the current signal is. So the longer we get into the hour, the more reliable the signal is. So, but we'll take a quick scan right now to see what our prospects are at the top to take at the top of the hour. So, so item 1 is making sure we get the time right. Item 2 is we want to see the number on the thick orange line. And this number goes from 0, when it's as high as it can go, to minus 100, where it's as low as it can go. When it is at 0, it is telling us that it believes that there's no more up movement for the pair. So that is essentially a sell signal. But again, we want to be able to confirm that. We don't want to just trade off of one piece of information. So to confirm that, we go down to the majors and minors and see what the position of the major and minor lines are in relationship to the overbought and oversold line. So let's see first if we can find a 0 or minus 100. And it doesn't have to be exactly 0 or minus 100. It can be within 10 points of either end. So if we're within 10 points of 0 or 10 points of minus 100, so minus 90 to minus 100, or 0 to minus 10, we've got a good first signal. So here minus 21 is a no. A pound dollar minus 14 is a no. Australian US dollar minus 65 is a no. Dollar pound dollar Swiss franc minus 60 is a no. Yen or dollar yen minus 89 is pretty close. So let me write this down. We'll come back. USD yen is sitting on the border. All right, so it is actually at minus 90, but we'll check it where it is. So we've got part 1 of the signal. Part 1 of the signal is that this is at between minus 90 and 100. When I see this, then I'm going to go down to my majors and minors and confirm that indeed we have kind of bottomed out in terms of where the move is and that it's about to turn around, to start to go up. And to figure that out, I want to see all 4 of these lines touching or below the oversold. So then I've got 2 different indicators telling me that the market is oversold and about to go up. Right now, these lines are still in the middle of the channel, so they're not down below here. So this isn't a good signal yet. So I don't have it here. 0 on the USD Canadian. All right, that's part 1 of the signal, so I've got it. Then I go down to my majors and minors, and I want to see all 4 lines, the far right edge of the lines, all touching or above the overbought line. That when the lines are up here, that tells me that they are soon about to turn. The market's overbought and should soon start. So when I have signal 1 and signal 2, that is a good sell. Right now the lines, I only have 1 of the minors touching. The others are still on the channel moving up. So I don't have the signal here. So let's look at some more majors. Now, these are all US pairs. So I would expect if I had 1, I'd have more than 1. If I saw 1 signal, and then the issue is picking the best of the group because I don't like to have too many open trades at once. I try to limit my open trades to really no more than 2. If I see something and I have 2 open, I might go to a third, but usually I don't have more than 2 open trades at a time. So let's look at another group. This group doesn't have, well, for the most part, doesn't have a U.S. pairs in it. So the pound or euro pound, minus 84 is a no. Australian dollar yen, minus 82 is a no. Euro Canadian dollar, 0 is a yes. So then let's go down to the majors and minors. I don't have all four lines touching or above the blue overbought line. So I don't have both parts of the signal. So that's a no. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, minus 91 is a yes. And I do have all four lines touching and below the oversold line. So Australian, New Zealand dollar is a buy. And again, we're going to wait another 10 minutes here, 15 minutes before we take the trade, but we have a good signal here. I've got minus 91, which is within 10 points of minus 100, all four lines touching. So if this stays the same when we get to the top of the hour, this is a good trade. New Zealand USD, minus 37 is a no. Minus Euro AUD, minus 39 is a no. And then quick look here, minus 31 on AUD Canadian, no. Minus 86 on Swiss franc yen, no. Minus 91 on the euro yen, that's a yes, but I don't have condition 2, which is to have all the lines oversold. So we'll pass. Pound Australian dollar, minus 20 is a no. Minus 61 is a no. And then minus 94 is a yes on Canadian yen. And excuse me. But again, I don't have all four lines. When I see the minus 95, I want all the lines to be oversold. They're not. They're in the middle of the channel. So we found one thick orange line trade. Let's see if we have a 10-point trade. Now, with the 10-point trade, let's just talk one more thing about the thick orange line trade. We have back tested this extensively, so we know when you're looking at a 60-minute chart and you see the signal, this is good for 5 pips. We figured that out for you. So there's all you got to do is see the signal, know when to take it, and then take it. It's good for 5 pips 95% of the time. So on the thick orange line trade, it's a different signal. So I'm no longer looking at the starting with the thick orange line number and working that spot. I am starting with I start with the majors and minors, and I look for a situation where the lines are above the overbought line or below the oversold line. So here it's in the channel, so that's a no. Pound dollar, it is above. When I see the lines above, I'm looking for 3 conditions. Condition number 1 is I want them above. Condition number 2 is I want all the lines pointed down. And condition number 3 is I want there to be a double cross where the red is crossed over the green and the black is crossed over the gray. So here they're above. The minors are starting to point down, and you're starting to get the double cross, but the majors haven't. So I don't have the signal. Australian US dollar, they're below. The minors have started to point it up and double cross. The majors haven't got there yet. they haven't. They're sideways and they haven't double crossed. Dollar yen. I'm in the channel. I haven't gone through the channel yet. Excuse me. Dollar Swiss franc. Dollar yen. We are in the channel, but kind of going sideways. So it's not pointed down enough for me. If these were pointed down, I would consider it, but it's sideways. So let's keep going. Dollar Canadian, I'm in the middle of the channel. So, you see this is actually a little bit of a flip of anyway, so there's nothing here. So let's look at our next group, see if we see one. We are oversold on the euro pound. Minors are pointed up, but the majors aren't there yet. Haven't really come through the channel yet on the Australian yen, euro CAD. The minors were oversold. The minors have actually almost shot up all the way to the other side of the channel, but the majors are sideways. So we got nothing. Australian New Zealand dollar, we are oversold but not pointed up. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, they are below the line, oversold. Both are pointed up, both are double crossed. I got 3 points here. They're below the line. It's okay that the minors have gone up a little bit into the channel. Everybody's pointed up, and I've got a double cross on both the majors and minors. So that's 3 points. When I have 3 points here, then I go to the next part of the signal, which is to look at the TNTs. On the TNTs, I want to count how many lines are moving in the right direction. I'm not interested in the number anymore. I'm just interested in what lines are going in the right direction. The 2 orange lines, the thick orange and the thin orange, are moving up. So that's 2. The dotted blue is moving down. When blue moves down, that means up. So dotted blue moving down, that's the right direction. And the thick blue is moving down. So I got 4 out of 4 here. I want a minimum of 3 out of 4. I got 4 out of 4, so I got 7 points. Now the last piece is I want the pressure to be, I want to get a point from the pressure. Right now I've got sideways pressure with red on top. I do not have a point here. If green were on top and it were sideways, I would take the trade, but we don't have that. Or if the lines if both lines were pointed up, I would take that. Like here on the Australian dollar yen, red is on top, but both lines are pointing up. I don't have that here. They're kind of sideways. So this was pretty close, but not there. The indicators are reliable. The only thing we need to do is just be patient till we see the signal. So let's keep going. Euro Australian dollar. All right, everybody's above. They're pointing down and double crossed, 3 points. Let's look up to the TNTs. The 2 orange lines are going down. That's 2 points. The 2 blue lines are going up. That's 4 points. So I've got 4 here. So I've got a total of 7 points. Let's look at the pressure. I've got green on top. This is sideways, but down toward me. But I consider this kind of down. the green's on top but pointing down. So I consider this down pressure, even though we've got the gap. Whereas over here, uh, uh, it's more sideways to me. Uh, I guess, and the reason this red line is flat here versus one going down, one going up. So I kind of like this trade. Let's Euro AUD. Let us. I want to just see if we have anything better real quick, because we'll take two trades. Australian Canadian. I've got 3 points here. They're below the orange line. They're pointing up and double crossed. The 2 orange lines are going up. 2 blue lines are going down. 4 points here. Sideways pressure, so that's I don't like that. Here, this is sideways. I don't like the majors are sideways. I don't like it. And actually, you see they kind of they're pushing back up. Sideways. Pound. Australian dollar not pointing down or double crossed. New Zealand Swiss franc oversold, pointing up, double cross, 3 points. That's good. The 2 orange lines going up, that's 2 points. Dotted blue coming down, that's 3. Thick blue going up, I don't get a point for that. Thick blue going up means down. So I got 3 out of the 4 here. I want a minimum of 3 out of 4, so I've got what I need here. And I have up pressure here with red on top. I like New Zealand. I like this one also. New Zealand Swiss franc for a buy. And Canadian. So now what I want to do is just take a look at the signals a little bit more. So I've got 7 points here. And Euro, Australian dollar. I think I like I think I like the New Zealand's Swiss franc better, because we've got better pressure on it. All other things being equal, the pressure usually, he's the big brother. He usually wins any coin toss. So we're going to go with this. So now that I see the signal, I want to get a little bit more information. So to get a little bit more information, I don't think I've traded New Zealand Swiss franc before. So I'm going to open a New Zealand Swiss franc chart. I don't have one of those already made, so I'm going to take one of my existing charts, right click, go to chart settings, change the symbol to New Zealand Swiss franc. Okay, apply. So it rebuilds my chart. I'm going to save the new chart so that I have him next time I want to trade this pair. NZD CHF. Now, when I trade, I don't look at this many pairs. I look at like 4 pairs, 4 or 5 pairs. But since we're looking for a trade, I've kind of expanded the what I look at. So first thing I want to do is I want to kind of know where the support and resistance are. So I'll take the existing chart, I will squish it up, and see if I can drop some support and resistance in here. some quick and dirty. If it's a chart that I trade, I've spent much more time figuring out the support and resistance, and that's you'll learn that in coaching. But here I'm basically looking for points where the lines touch. So they touch right in here, they touch over here, and on a 1 hour chart, these lines tend to be about 30 pips apart. So let's see. So I've got touching right in here, right over here, right here, right here, maybe right there. We'll go one above and one below, touching here, here, and here, and right here. Also, when I take a trade, going back to our daily trade routine, I want to know where the trend is. So what's been going on? What am I trading into? So I use the linear regression tool. Basically, we're trading into a down market. So over the last 6 weeks, New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc, the trend has been down. So now I can go back. I'm going to pull this up a little bit so we got we can see a little bit better. Now I'd like to know how much movement I have available. Oops, actually we're at 657. So let's go ahead. Let's just jump back a second and oops, come on here. Let's just jump back a second and take our 10-point trade before we lose the hour. So that was the thick orange line was Australian New Zealand dollar. So let's just find that real quick. Australian New Zealand dollar, and we no longer have the signal. We're at minus 66. Minus 92, but we're not there. Minus 90, but we're not there. So we don't have a thick orange line trade this morning. And you see, I'm just going through real quick. Minus 86 is close. And I do have the lines down here, but I'd really rather be in that minus 90 range. Minus 4 here on the US Canadian, but nothing here. So no thick orange line trade this morning. So even though we saw it earlier, because we waited till the top of the hour, this number has changed now that it's got a full 50 minutes worth of information in it. Now there's 1 minute left, 58 seconds left. So no thick orange line trade. So let's go back to our New Zealand Swiss franc. I want to know how much room I have in each direction before I hit the support and resistance. So here I've got about 15 pips going up, and I have about 12 pips, 13 pips going down. So And our signal here is, oh, we don't quite have it as strong anymore. I don't have the double cross going up. Green, I don't like this because we don't have a clear up. It's more sideways than up. Let's go back. Let's see what the euro yen, euro Australian dollar is. That was our other option. This one I'm not as keen on anymore by the time we're ready to take the trade. So let me see if I have that chart. Open chart book. Oops. Euro, AUD. I do have that chart, so let's open them up. I'm just going to go back to the top of the hour because I want to see what the chart was. So to go back to the top of the hour, because we're 2 minutes into the hour now. All right, so I had both down, down, up. So that's 7. But I have sideways here. This is at the top of the hour. It's changed. This is more down now. It's still sideways, but down, 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 up. So let's see what we've got available here. So we're going to crunch it up so we can do some more support and resistance. And so we've got some touching right in here, right in here. So in the last 3 months, it looks like we're hitting some new highs. And we're really trading in an uptrend, very strong uptrend. And even depending on where you want to measure from, even if you started back here, we're still in an uptrend. So let's see. We're looking at a sell trade in an uptrend, and we're really at the bottom of the channel of the trend. So we're asking it to go outside of this channel, which I don't want to do. We have room. We're outside of the channel, so it looks like it's broken the channel. We have room on the downside. If we were to take a trade, we've got 35 pips to hit this line. and we can see that it has shot down here today. But I don't want to trade against the trend. So had this been up here, if the price was up here and this is how the trend was, I would maybe consider it. But we've kind of just broken out of the trend, and I'd want more evidence that you know, it had changed direction before I take the trade. I'd rather be safe than sorry. It's not about. I don't have to have a trade all the time. I'm looking for trades that have a high probability of winning. So I know the indicators. I've got confidence in the indicators. I've been using them long enough where if I wait for the signal, a signal will come. I don't have to, I only need 3 or 4 trades a day to hit the number of pips that I'm looking for to have a good day. So this morning, we didn't come across a good, what I felt was a good 10-point trade or a good think orange trade. So sorry, gang. This morning we have no trade. If I come across one, I will send it out to people who are still online. Who are still online with me right now. So just give me a second to write down who's here. So to make it worth your investment of time this morning, when I do see a trade that I like, I will email it out to you. I'll text it out to you. So thanks for coming. Sorry, but this morning we got nothing. Very good. Talk to you. See you. Oh, actually, next week there's no. I will be traveling, so we will not have a session next week. And because I am traveling from Monday through Thursday, there'll be no nightly trades. I won't be trading at all since I'll be on the road. So next week, you won't get any texts from me. All right, thanks for coming. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye. Oh, well, let's see. Hold it real quick. Let's see what we got for questions before I go. Oh, okay. Very good. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you later.